So guys, before we actually write the code to solve the problem that we discussed in the previous lecture video, let us spend some time in order to understand the linking behavior, the linking of an application and the library. Let us suppose that you have some files. Let a.c, b.c and c.c are three C source files, and these three source files forms a library. Let's say some library which implement some meaningful functionality. So it's a library. When you compile a.c, it will convert into a.o. You compile b.c, it convert into b.o. And you compile c.c and it convert into c.o. Alright. Now I'm saying that in this source file, the library is making a call to the function foo. So note that I'm saying that the library is invoking the function foo. But in none of these source file is present the implementation of this function. Once again, the library is making a call to the function foo, but the function foo is nowhere implemented in any source file of this library. Now when I package all the object files of this library together, let me give name to this library as abc.a. Library has an extension of .a in C or C++, provided that it is a static library. So abc.a is a library file, and library file is nothing but it is just a collection of all the object files packaged together. Alright. So in this abc.a, we have a.o, b.o and c.o packaged together. And once again, in each of these object files, you have invocation of the function foo, but nowhere there is implementation of the function foo. Alright. And now library doesn't execute by itself. You need an application to execute the library code. Library code by itself or as a standalone do not execute. Now let's say you have an application app.c. When I say application, it means that app.c have a function main. Right? It is this main function which make the source file or the set of source file an application. You cannot create an executable until you have a main function in one of the source file. So let's not go there. Now suppose we have an application app.c, and in this application there is an implementation of the function foo. And let's say this application app.c print, let's say hello, within this function foo. So function foo has a functionality that it prints hello on the console, as simple as that. So app.c is an application which has the implementation of the function foo. And now app.c wants to make use of the library abc.a, and it will do so. So first of all, from app.c we will compile and create app.o. This is the object file. Now we compile the application object files and the library.a file together to create a final executable. Let's call this executable as app.exe. Right? Once this executable is created, the function foo, which was being invoked within the library code, will actually become the function which is provided by the application. So at all places in the library code, whenever the function foo is invoked, hello will be printed. In other words, this invocation of the function is nothing but the invocation of the function provided by the application. So now in this entire process, we have not changed the library code. Have we? No. Similarly, there is another application, let's say xyz.c. And since it's an application, it will have a main function. And this application also implements the function foo. And this function foo prints, let's say, bye. So now we will compile this xyz.c and it gets converted into xyz.o object file. And now we will combine the xyz.o object file and abc.a file together to create an executable xyz.exe. And now in this executable file, at all the places where the function foo is invoked, by will be printed. Right? So again, have we changed anything in the library code? No. The function foo which was invoked within the library code is replaced by the implementation of the function which is provided by the application in the linking process. Linking process means creation of executable. So it's a common scenario that when we write library, we have to introduce certain function calls in the library whose implementation is not known at the time of writing a library, because the implementation of those functions is application specific. So it brings me to the 2 points. The first point, library can have invocation of functions which are not implemented. Second, in order to create executable, it's the application source code, one of the source file of the application, must provide implementation of such function so that the library comes to life. Now, based on the same technique, we will going to plan our solution which we discussed in the previous lecture video. Now let us implement our solution based on this exact method.